This week, you may wake up and feel like, I've got this. Let's talk about this feeling and about what happens to this feeling during the week. Hello, and welcome to our energy briefing. The purpose of this briefing and every briefing is to know yourself and others a little bit better, to know your timing, and to act accordingly. This is not a horoscope, this is energy briefing. We read the energies, not the future. And the more we can see the energy, the more sovereign our choices become. If you can't wait to act, you may skip to pareto choices. If you want to go deeper, make sure to watch the idea behind section. My name is Natalie Ava. Let's explore. The atmosphere. So, the atmosphere of this week may be something like, okay, enough thinking. I want to act upon my thinking right now. I want to go, I want to achieve this, and all I want is everything, and I want it now and as soon as possible. And you want to say something maybe which you wanted to say already a long time but you didn't. You want to act upon something, you want to send this message and you don't even reread this message, you just send it. This kind of energy. And then during the week later, like in the middle of the week, it may feel like you have this dream when you want to run but you can't run, or like you organized a spontaneous trip with your friends and then there is always this friend which shows up and like, okay, what is our plan, what is our timing, how much, in which order, and all these things. This friend doesn't want to spoil your trip. This friend just wants to make sure that you actually arrive when you want to arrive. And this is the energy and the atmosphere which we have this week. The idea behind this atmosphere is that Sun just entered Aries last weekend. And Aries is the first energy in the life cycle. And Aries comes there out of the mother's belly, as we discussed in the previous video. And Aries comes there and is like, oh wow, what is happening here? I need to understand what's going on. I need to survive. I need to fight for your right, for my right, for our right. And it is impulsive. It can be aggressive. It can come across as impatient. The thing is that the energy does not know what is impossible yet and wants to try and wants to go and to act upon this. It's the impulse, it's the spark, it's the ambition, is the kind of veni vidi vici energy, is the warrior, and the warrior goes there to the battle and wins the battle and then goes and wants to have a rest. So it's the energy which is fire, but it's not a fireplace. It's a spark. It's rather more explosive, and it's the impulse which comes first. That's Aries energy. Fire energy, which is more stable and more like fireplace, is rather Leo. We'll talk about Leo when is Leo season, especially in August when eclipses will be in Leo. This will be really interesting. And so what happens in the middle of the week is that we have Saturn. So we have Sun in Aries, and then we have Saturn, who is also right now in Aries, and they conjunct. So they come together in the same degree of Aries. What does this mean, and what's the idea behind this? Saturn is like a reality check. Saturn is like an authority who comes and who says, okay, you want it, then prove it. Then show me the plan. Then show me precise steps that you're going to take. It's not, Saturn says, dear Aries, this is not just about acting without thinking. I need some sort of structure from you. Otherwise, like, this can get very chaotic. So they both come together. The question is, who will win? Sun in Aries or Saturn in Aries? Maybe this question is not the proper question because conjunction is a positive aspect. maybe it's not about who will win or who is against whom. Maybe it's about co-creation. So how do we combine these energies, and how do we act upon this so it becomes useful to us? What are the alchemy moves this week? The moves which allow us to take tension and to transform this tension into something useful. This is the question. So the question is, how do we actually organize this wild, and what can be our Pareto choices this week? Pareto choices. So, how do we organize the wild in this case? There is no really right or wrong answer in this case, because it really depends on the situation, and it just in general always depends. There is always the room for interpretation, my interpretation, your interpretation, and also choices that we make, right? In this case, the beauty is in the eyes of the viewer. It's up to you which alchemy move you take in this case. And alchemy move is about taking tension, which is there, and doing something useful with this. And considering the given energies, it might be something which you postponed already for a long time. It might be something which requires some boring moves if you want, like tax declaration, or you can go and redo your medical checkup, or you do your medical checkup, or you take care of your legal situation. These kind of processes which require structure, and at the same time this can be processes which require courage and discipline at the same time. If you have a bold goal or a bold ambition, something which you want to act upon, this would be the right week to bring this ambition into some sort of framework and to start acting upon this ambition, at least according to some plan. So it can be a high level plan, it can be something really simple. The idea is to take the energy of ambition, the energy of impulse, and to say, okay, here is what I'm going to do about this. And from the other perspective, what is the logic? What would be not a Pareto choice this week? That would be something when you just act without thinking, and you just do something or sign up for something because you want to feel alive again. Like, there are these kind of situations in life when you're like, a little bit stuck or something, and you let me do something crazy, and because it just feels this way. Maybe a questionable activity. So it's up to you. What do you do about this? That's the logic. And let me know in comments what would be your ideas about possible Pareto choices. Or when you start 10 things in one time and just so many ambitions that you act upon all of them, maybe also a little bit questionable. So the question is not whether I go with the impulse or I go with a prepared plan or with discipline. The question is, how do I combine them, and which ambitions require framework this week? Maybe you don't need to choose between impulse and discipline. And maybe the main question that Pareto choices ask us this week is, where is it in my life that I need to organize the wild instead of suppressing it?